Hi everybody, Chris Dyson here. We're just looking at the context for coaching in the post-COVID environment. In the chart behind me, I'm going to look at the context for the leader in the organization, for leaders and leadership, and just some of the issues that are coming up and on my radar as a coach, talking to my coachees and leaders about in this COVID environment. So, looking at the new normal, however temporary that might be, there'll be several of them, so there's lots of new normals, and they're going to be cycling through those in the years to come. Certainly in the next few weeks, there's going to be an awful lot of change. But for the leader, for me as a coach, the single most important skill that a leader needs to gain and enhance and really work on is their emotional intelligence, and particularly around their self-awareness and self-management. Emotional intelligence is like wisdom. And you acquire it through life, you acquire it through experience, but it's a learnable skill. Not like IQ, your EQ or your EI is learnable. And it's, for me, the most important skill for a leader. It opens the door to so many other opportunities. So that's where I run my coaching. Individual resilience is going to be very important for that leader. Care for themselves, awareness of themselves, management of themselves, looking after their health, and everything that adds up to being a resilient environment for that leader. So good social support, good team support, knowing themselves, pacing themselves, looking after their health, not looking at burnout, avoiding burnout, good delegation. All that will help enhance their resilience. Key skills for them, key things to watch out for, their capacity, their capability, their creativity and their courage. This is going to be a very demanding time for leaders, and courage to make those really tough decisions without perfect knowledge is going to be very important indeed. So decision-making skills will be high on the agenda, but how you make decisions is not all down to them, but can you develop a leadership style that's aware of other people and takes their needs on board. Safety is going to be pretty high up the agenda, so management of risk, and your very first response as you emerge, as the organisation emerges, and how we begin to interact with our people, that's going to be a very important test. First steps. Considered first steps. What are your priorities going to be? Bearing in mind that your people will need care, just a place to stop, be held, have a place to vent and talk about their experiences so that they can see you listening to them. There may well be fear. Some may be okay. The culture of this organisation will probably change. But from my point of view, if you don't get the culture right, the culture will trump your strategy. If this isn't right, that ain't going to happen. So culture will be around the people, the communication, the engagement, the adaptability. The structure of the organisation may have to change. You may have to lose a large number of people. You may have to reshape the organisation. Going to have to take on board the skills, the training, and build organisational resilience. Bearing in mind the conversation we had just a few moments ago in the other video about Maslow and the hierarchy of needs, bearing in mind where your people are. Perhaps some of them are in survival mode, perhaps the organisation itself is in survival mode, and that will require an emotionally intelligent response. Things are going to happen at pace. So the new normal will have a degree of pace in it, and it won't be about having perfect information before we make our decisions. We're going to have to do things at pace. We have to be very flexible. We're going to have to work with innovation. That will not be perfect. Our products and our services may well have to change. We cannot deliver some of them. We certainly couldn't deliver them in the lockdown environment, hence the threats to many organisations' pure survival. But as we come out of it, the world is different. We've had 10 years worth of innovation in the last 3 months. So what are we going to stop doing? What are we going to start doing differently? The opportunities that the situation presents us with new technology, the adoption of Zoom, and what that might mean for meetings and conferences. So what can we stop? What can we start? What can we let go? Things that may be precious to us. Can we let go of them? And can we develop new things to replace them? And then there's doing more and doing less. So some really significant questions to ask there about our products and our services, and even some of the operational things that we do within the organisation. Can we do more or less of them? Our information control will be reduced perhaps, so we're going to have to work very much on that because many of our people will be distributed. They won't be working in the office. We can't see them every day. The office will be working differently. The culture will be different. So there'll be a lot of uncertainty, imperfect information, because this is all new territory. We've never been here before. This is a significant event for the world, bigger than anything in the last 75 years. So strategic decisions will be based on imperfect knowledge. It may well require us to look again at the whys, the whats, and the hows, and particularly the why we're doing things, because the culture of the country has changed. The culture of the world may change. We'll have different priorities. So that's a quick run through, a quick gallop through some of the things that are on my mind, some of the questions and some of the areas I'd want to look at as a coach working with a leader. I hope that's helpful. Next session, we're going to look at, if you like, my coaching priorities, the sort of things I think will be on the coaching agenda as we talk about leadership and organisational change in this new environment. So thanks for joining me so far. See you on the next video.